Hello my loves, my name is Mina. Welcome to my channel Mina Reads, and today I'm doing my July wrap up. So in July I read about 20-ish books. It's a lot, so I've kind of been putting off filming this video, but you know, gotta face our fears and all that. So I've got my handy dandy notebook and let's talk about all the things that I read in July. Alright, so first up, let's talk about like all of the monster, alien, romancy stuff that I read this month, because clearly I was in some kind of mood. So first up, I read Skin and Feed by Aveda Vice. This is a part of a series. Feed is about this girl, she's a succubus, and this guy, he's some kind of like fairy moth man type scenario, and basically, you know, she's a succubus. She needs to feed off people's sexual energy to sustain herself, so she basically has hate sex with this guy that works her job that she doesn't like, but she needs to because she needs to feed. Now we understand the title. So I read that one and it was hot. Like, it wasn't amazing, it wasn't life-changing, but it was hot. And then I read the second book in that series, which is called Skin. And Skin is about this woman, and she's like a banshee, and basically she can't make like physical contact with other people's skin because she experiences their death, and she experiences all of their like emotions and things like that. So she basically has like a touch aversion, but her and like her partner, she does some kind of like supernatural investigation type stuff. And so she has this like partner at her job, and her partner, they have mutual crushes on each other. They decided they're gonna smash, and this is like the first time that she's touching anybody's skin in like years. So it's like a whole thing about like touch starvation, but like it's porn. Anyways, that was also cool. I liked it. It was a good time. I think if you are one of those people who are like really into monster romances and stuff, you might enjoy it. The guy in it, he's a gargoyle and he has like wings and shit, so that's your thing. You might want to try it out. Continuing in the monster romance vein, I read His Beauty by Jack Harbin. This is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, but in this version, the Beast, he never turns into a man at the end. So he just stays in his weird like bear lion form. In my opinion, it falls very closely in line with like the Disney movie. So I feel like if you like the Disney movie, but you ever said to yourself, what if the Beast didn't turn back into a human, and what if they had sex? Then this is basically that book. Honestly, I skimmed the sex scenes a little bit because it was giving too much animal. It was giving too much beast, almost a little bit of ality, and I have to say that it wasn't 100% for me, so I definitely skipped those parts a little bit. But I will say that I like the fact that in this, Isabel, she's actually really a bad bitch and she's like a fighter and stuff, and that was cool. I like that. But yeah, if you enjoy the Disney Beauty and the Beast and you ever thought to yourself, what if it was spicy? Check this one out. So then I read Barbarian Lover and Barbarian Mind by Ruby Dixon. This is the third and the fourth book in the Ice Planet Barbarian series. The Ice Planet Barbarian series is basically about this group of women. They've been abducted from Earth and they're basically supposed to be like, I don't know, sold into like alien slavery or something, but their spacecraft like crash lands on this ice planet, and the women are kind of rescued by this tribe of people called the Sakui, and they're like these hot blue aliens. And so each book in the series is about one of the human women finding like the blue alien love of her life, basically. And yeah, so the third one is about this girl Kira and her love interest Aihako. He was fire. I liked him. His energy was very cool. Kira, she was okay, but I didn't really love this one because it talked a lot about like fertility and fertility issues, and how Kira was like broken because she couldn't have kids, and that was very much ick in my opinion. I did not like it, did not have fun with that. So I gave that one like 2 or 3 stars, something like that. It just wasn't my thing. I didn't like that. It was very much taking me out of it, and it was not enjoyable. Like, there's nothing broken about a woman just because she can't have children. It just, I don't fuck with it. But the fourth one, Barbarian Mind, is about this guy named Ryuk and this girl Harlow. So basically Ryuk, he's like not a part of the main tribe of Sakui, so he's kind of like this outcast, and he basically sees Harlow like scavenging in the woods for like herbs or something, and he's very intrigued by her. He's never seen a human before, so he just thinks she's kind of like some weird creature and he wants to know more about her. So he like hits her over the head to take her back to his cave, and then he realizes that she's like a person, and he's like, oh shit, I fucked up. So basically this book is like a romance between them, but there's like a language barrier. They're trying to like talk to each other and communicate without having a common language, and it was very good. It's very interesting. It's like, yes, it is a bit of an abduction romance, but I ate it up. I ate it up. It was just good. Like, it was just so good. I loved like the forced proximity aspect of the relationship. I loved them like getting over their language barrier. Like, it's like a bit weird, but also it was giving. I really liked it. It was a fun time. It was very cute. I know you're hearing me and you're like, Amina, you just said that he abducted her and then you said it's cute, but like, it is. You just have to read it to understand. You have to read it to understand. I don't know how else to describe it, but you can watch my vlog where I read both Barbarian Mind and Barbarian Lover. So if you're interested, you can check that out. All right, then I read The Witch's Wolves. It's supposed to be like historical as well. So it's about this girl. She's fleeing her town. She's being like religiously persecuted because they're saying she's a witch. She's not, but she's being persecuted, so she runs away from her town and she runs into the woods. She ends up finding this cottage that she thinks is like going to be the perfect safe haven for her, and she ends up meeting these two wolf men. The two wolf men are like in a relationship with each other. They're life partners, very happy, very settled, and you know, just very cool people. So they decide to let her stay with them because they're like, oh, you know, we're going to protect you, it's fine. So she stays with them for a while, and then they're like, you know what, we want you to be with us. We want you to be in a relationship with us. We should all be together. And yeah, just like this spicy polyamorous werewolf romance thing, it was a good time. I really liked it. It was very, very cute, very wholesome, but also extremely, extremely spicy. And I was a little bit shook over it. This is the first book I ever read by this author. I can't remember what the author's name is, but it'll be up there on the screen somewhere. But like, this is the first time I ever read a book by them, and it will not be the last because that shit slapped. It was fire. I really enjoyed it. Okay, so the last thing in my little like monster romance kick is going to be Devil's Line Volume 1 and 2, and this is basically a manga. This is like a manga about vampires. So the vampires in this world are called devils actually, and the main character, she's this girl. She basically is friends with this dude. Come to find out, this dude is actually a vampire, and he gets like arrested by the vampire police because he has like brutally attacked and murdered like 3 women in the past month. So the vampire police officer who arrests him ends up meeting the main character girl. Let's call her Jane Doe because I don't fucking remember her name at all. So the vampire police officer meets Jane Doe, they become friends, and they like spend a lot of time together. And so this story is about like the vampires' treatment in society, how vampires are very much looked down upon. Nobody likes the vampires. There's like this fringe group that's trying to like, I don't know, commit vampire genocide, and then there's this other group of like the vampire police, and they're trying to figure out if it's possible for vampires and humans to like coexist and like intermingle and intermarry and stuff like that. And so basically that's like the whole backdrop to this human girl and this vampire police officer dude like being in a relationship. I feel like the 2 volumes that I read are just very, very elaborate setups for like vampire bondage porn, because they keep showing these like certain panels where it's like a flash forward. They'll ask the question like, how would it be possible for a vampire and a human to have sex? Because when vampires are excited like sexually, their fangs and their claws come out and then they end up like attacking people. So they keep asking the question like, how is it possible to have sex with a vampire and like, you know, get pregnant, all that kind of stuff. So they keep showing these like frames where the vampire is all like tied up, very shibari rope bondage style, and I was like, okay. So I feel like the series is doing a lot. It's doing a lot in terms of all of this like world building and all this other shit that, to be honest, I don't care about. And as I said, it all feels like a very elaborate setup for maybe in the next 2 or 3 volumes, like the main couple, they're just gonna have like bondage porn sex, and it's like cool, but did we need all of the extra fluff? I don't know. But yeah, I give both of these like 2-ish, 3 stars. Yeah, it's not my absolute favorite, don't completely love it, but we move. Okay, so speaking of manga, after that I read Sweat and Soap Volume 7. It's about these 2 characters, Aisako and Natori, and they both work at a soap company. Basically, they meet in the lobby one day at their office, and he thinks that she smells amazing, and he is like super obsessed with her scent, and he basically uses her scent as like the base for a new product line. It's a whole thing. He has like a very sensitive nose, and he maybe sort of has like a scent kink or something. It's a little bit strange. The first volume is definitely very out there, a bit weird, but as you go through the series, I'm in volume 7 right now, it just gets really cute. Like, it's literally just about them having a very like regular, casual, cute relationship. And at the part I'm at now, like we get to see them meeting each other's families, and like they're moving in together, and it's just like all about their life together, and their romance is just so cute. And I love the way that they communicate with each other, and the way that they work out their problems, the way they communicate their feelings with one another. It's just so sweet and so wholesome, but it's also a little bit spicy. Like there's a little bit of a smidge of adult content, not even a smidge, there's kind of a lot of adult content in it, but it's not like too much, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a perfect amount of wholesome and spice. I just love Asako and Notori so much. I can't wait for volume 8. It should be in the mail right now because I pre-ordered it. I'm just very excited. I love them. One of my favorite couples. They're so sweet. Alright, so then I read Heartstopper volume 1 and 2. That's a lie. Heartstopper volume 2 and 3 actually. And Heartstopper is a graphic novel series about these two characters, Nick and Charlie, and it's just about their like blooming friendship and subsequent romance as they spend more time together and they join the rugby team together, and it's just really cute. Volume 2 is a bit about Nick discovering his sexuality, coming out to the people that are important to him and stuff like that. And then in volume 3, it's very cute. They go on like a class trip to France, and their relationship gets a little bit deeper. They communicate with each other some more. It's very cute, very adorable. I think I gave both of them 4 stars because it's very sweet, it's very wholesome. I enjoyed it a lot. And I think that if you're just looking for something nice, easy, simple to read, you should check it out. Okay, so then I read like 2 historical romance-y things. So the first one is Wicked Passions by Nicola Davidson, and this is basically an erotic like historical romance, and it's polyamorous. And like I wanted to love this so much. I feel like this is like a 3-star read. So I feel very conflicted because on one hand, I really love so much stuff about it, but on the other hand, I didn't absolutely love this author's writing style. Just something about it that was a little bit off for me. But basically, Wicked Passions is about this girl. It's set in like the Scottish Highlands. She wants to be like a swordsman, so she goes away and she trains to be a swordsman, and she like dresses up as a man to do it. But she gets caught one day, and so her family, who are like, you know, these like rich aristocratic people, they're pretty mad at her. So they're like, you need to get married off. You can't just be out doing whatever you want, so you need to get married. It's decided that they're gonna hold like this tourney or whatever for her hand. It's just like this polyamorous relationship between this girl, one of the guys that's competing for her hand in marriage, and like the guy's best friend. And it was just like, I don't know, it was cute, but at the same time, I did not love this author's writing style. Something about the writing style that was very off for me, so I can't really give it more than 3 stars. But like, it was cute, and it was definitely very spicy, and yeah, so like, it was cool. Not amazing, but it was cool. And the other historical romance I read in July was Never Seduces Scott. Never Seduces Scott is about this girl. She had like a horse riding accident. As a result, she sustained this injury that made her lose her hearing. Everyone around her thinks that she's like mentally impaired because of her accident, but she's not. She just can't hear. But she's still like can read lips and everything, so she knows what's going on around her, but she has trouble like communicating with other people because she doesn't know how to like modulate her voice and stuff. But basically she ends up kind of getting married off to this guy who's from like a rival clan. They're trying to make their relationship work, as well as like quell some of the rising tensions between her clan and his clan, because they're like mortal enemies. It's a very Romeo and Juliet type Capulet Montague thing going on. So like, I thought that they were a cute couple. I thought that the book was cool, so to say, but it was boring as hell. Like, when I tell you that nothing was going on, nothing was happening, like, I was just so bored reading it. It wasn't great, so I would give it like 2.5 stars, maybe. Okay, so then I read this book called Candy Hearts by Erin McClellan, and this is about these 2 characters who, they're part of like the same friend group, so they're supposed to be having like this Valentine's Day party. They're going away for the weekend to like stay at a lake house, and essentially only 2 of them show up, and so they decide like, you know, you don't have a Valentine, I don't have a Valentine, let's be each other's Valentine and clap cheeks. So they decide that that's what they're gonna do, and it's like, you know, this erotic romance thing, but it's very cute. They're a pretty adorable couple. I really like their interactions and their banter. They're funny, and also it was very steamy, and I appreciated that a lot. So this is like a male-male romance. It was a cool time. And then I read the sequel, or like the 4th book in that series, which is called Party Favors, and this one was a female-female romance, and it's about these 2 girls. They're like online best friends, and they decided they finally want to meet each other, so they decide they're going to meet up for what's that holiday called? New Year's Eve. So they decide they're going to meet up for New Year's Eve and they're going to like spend the holidays together. It's very, very cute. It's also so fucking steamy. This is the spiciest sapphic romance I've ever read in my life. Like, they are, girl, like the dirty talk in this, the sex toys in this, the positions, girl. I mean, they was doing it all. And it was super cute. Like, it was adorable, but it also served in the spice department. I mean, I was living. It was really, really great. So that one I enjoyed like a smidge more than Candy Hearts, but Candy Hearts is like 4 stars and this one was like 4.5 stars. But they were both really good. I definitely want to read more by Erin McClellan in the future because she knows how to write some spice. I mean, she really does. After that, I read Satisfaction Guaranteed by Aurelia Steets Waters, I think. And so this book is about this character named Cade. Cade's Aunt Ruth has recently passed away. And in her will, she has left her like sex toy shop to Cade because she wants Cade to run it with this other girl named Selena. Selena and Ruth, they had a very close mentor-mentee relationship, so she leaves half of the shop to Selena and half of it to Cade, and she wants them to run it together. So this is basically like an inheritance romance, you know, where the characters, they both inherit something and they have to share it, and then it's like kind of a forced proximity because they have to share whatever based on the inheritance. So yeah, this is about them trying to revive this like sex shop that's basically on its last leg. It's like very deep into debt and stuff, so they have to like come up with a whole business plan and everything to save the shop, make things work out better, and along the way they're falling in love with each other. I like this. It was very cute. It was also really, really funny. I love the character of Selena. She was hilarious. She was very eccentric, but something about her was so endearing and I just loved her so much. So I gave this one like a 3.5 stars. I think I rounded it up on Goodreads, but like it was very good, very cute. It was a fun time. And then the last sapphic romance I read this month was called Queen's Ransom by Layla Rain, I think. And this is like a sapphic mafia romance. It's about this like mafia family, but basically it's about these two characters. One of them is like the head of this mafia family. There's another girl, her name's Celia. She's like a mechanic, and the mafia boss lady, she has a crush on Celia. One day while she's at Celia's auto body shop getting her motorcycle tuned up, there's like a shooting. There's like a drive-by shooting. So the mafia boss is like, I'm gonna take care of you and your family. We're gonna get to the bottom of who's doing this and like why they would attack you. So she basically brings Celia into her family home, and it's all about like protecting Celia and this whole like mob boss situation. And like it was cool. I liked it a lot in the beginning because I liked the characters. I thought that they had like cool chemistry and stuff like that. And I also enjoyed like the fact that it was like a sapphic mafia romance. Like that was cool. But for one, it basically ends up being like this mystery where they're trying to figure out who would attack her and why they would do it. So it ends up being like this whole investigation, like detective vibe, rather than feeling very mafia-esque. So I found it to be a little bit boring because I didn't actually care all that much about the investigation, and I didn't care who shot up Celia's shop. Like, I didn't care about that. But the story spends so much time investigating and not that much time with Celia and like her love interest, the mafia boss lady, actually spending time together. I feel like they only had like 3 major scenes where they spent time together. So that does not a romance make, in my opinion. So anyways, I gave that one 3 stars because it was entertaining. It was a very quick read, but like it just didn't 100% give what I needed to give on the romance level. But like it was fine. Okay, then I read Tamed by Rebecca Weatherspoon. This is a part of her Fit trilogy. I think this is the 2nd book in that trilogy. And this is about this girl. She basically gets a new personal trainer. His name is Armando. And she has like a slight crush on Armando. Armando's supposed to be like super hot and everything. And basically one day she decides that she wants to like cyber stalk Armando a little bit. So she cyber stalks him and she finds out that he has like a profile on this like, I don't know, this like social media website for like kinky people. And so she finds out that he's like a dom and she wants him to like dom her, and they enter this dom sub relationship. And it was fine. Like it wasn't, I love Rebecca Weatherspoon so much, but this was not my favorite by her. I just feel like the characterization of the 2 protagonists, I can't remember what the girl's name is at all. And the guy, Armando, like he was cool, I guess, but I don't know, I just didn't like feel anything for them as a relationship. I didn't like, oh, I'm rooting for them, I love them so much. Like, I didn't feel anything like that. I was just a bit like, okay, you know, cool. They like each other. They were having sex. The sex they were having was hot. Rebecca Weatherspoon never misses when it comes to a sex scene. But I just felt no connection to the characters, no connection to their relationship for real. But they did have a few good cheek clapping scenes. So we appreciate it for that at least. Then I read The Roommate Risk. Baby, this was so fucking good. Talia Hibbert does not miss. She does not miss. So The Roommate Risk is about these two best friends, Jasmine and Raul. They met in college and they have been really close ever since. Really, they have this super close friendship. Raul is madly in love with Jasmine. Jasmine does not know this, so there's a lot of like pining on Raul's side. The thing is that Jasmine, her apartment recently gets flooded, so she ends up needing to move in with Raul for a while. That's why it's called The Roommate Risk. She needs to move in with Raul so that her place can get fixed up. While her apartment is getting fixed, her and Raul start like sleeping together and they're kind of dating, but they're not really having that full conversation like, are we together? Is this a relationship? Do we love each other? But Raul is pining very big, very heavily. So, and Jasmine kind of has some feelings for Raul, but she's not very in touch with her emotions. She dealt with some trauma in her childhood, so she has a bit of like trouble emotionally connecting with other people. So she basically, she's not all the way there yet. Like, she hasn't completely realized that she has feelings for Raul or that Raul has feelings for her. But Raul, he is about the world's biggest simp. He is so fucking in love with Jasmine that it's not even funny. And I love them. If you enjoy friends to lovers romance, you should definitely check this out. Also, this book is so spicy. It was like, I was not expecting it, because like Raul, when they first introduced him, he was giving very much like cute nerdy protagonist vibes. So I was like, oh, you know, he's so cute, he's so adorable. And then I got to like page 19 and he was making it do what it do. I was like, okay, I see you, Raul, I see you. So anyways, we love to see it. It was very good. Their relationship is just everything to me. I love them so, so much. And I would highly recommend reading this book if you enjoy friends to lovers. Like, they're simply the moment. I love them. 4.5 stars. It was great. Talia Hibbert never misses. We're almost done. Last two books are like sci-fi, fancy. So I read Fires of Vengeance by Evan Winter. This is the second book in the Burning series. And this series is about a character named Tao. Basically, Tao's family members, they get murdered. He swears revenge, and this series is about him training to become like the world's greatest fighter so he can get revenge on the people who he feels destroyed his life. So this second book is about Tao as he becomes champion for the queen. There's also some political stuff going on because there's kind of like a civil war happening where the queen, Ciara, her sister, Essie, is also vying for the queendom. So there's this whole like political stuff going on. There's some war stuff going on. But this sequel, I will say that it was a very good sequel. I liked it a lot better than I enjoyed Rage of Dragons. I think that Rage of Dragons is like cool if you're a person who really likes fight scenes and if you like a training arc. A very good training arc. However, I just found myself getting a little bit bored because I don't fully love Tao as a character. Like, I just find him a bit boring, a bit plain. But in this book, there was a lot more interesting stuff going on with Tao as a character, like mentally. So I found him to be a lot more interesting and a lot more compelling as a protagonist in this second book. So I gave this one 4 stars. The last book that I read was Morningstar by Pierce Brown. This is the third book in the Red Rising trilogy. Red Rising is set on Mars, and basically our main character Darrow, he is a part of the red caste system. And in this society, there's like a color-based caste system. Golds are at the top, reds are at the bottom. Darrow is a red. One day he discovers that the reds are being taken advantage of. They're being forced to toil as slaves for the rest of the solar system without their knowledge. They kind of think that they have like some bigger, higher purpose and they're like saving humanity, but they're not. They're just being used as slave labor. So Darrow basically gets radicalized, revolutionized, and he decides that he is going to join this group called the Sons of Ares so that he can, you know, start a revolution from the inside of the Gold Society. So he transforms his appearance, he becomes a gold, and this is about him sowing seeds of dissent within the Golden Society. I really enjoy this series. I don't want to talk about like things that happened in Morningstar because this is the third book in a series. It will be a spoiler, but I enjoyed Morningstar. It was a good time. I gave it 4 stars. It was a decent conclusion to the series. I'm contemplating if I should read like the sequel series, Iron Gold and Dark Age. So let me know if I should read those ones or not. If you would recommend it, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. But yeah, that's all of the books that I read this month. It was so many. I feel like this video is going to be super long. Hopefully not. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in my next video. Bye, you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. And a special thank you to all of my wonderful patrons.